I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch.
Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something? But if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all. The witness did say he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest he wouldn't hear anything.
I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony.
Hold it right there! The prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
Well, the defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sod? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Sod, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. And you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sod. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. That strikes me as a very suspicious mistake.
Yes, I can see how you'd be a little doubtful. I'm really sorry. I only just remembered that table clock. A table clock?
A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene?
This is the first I've heard of it.
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. And now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Sahwit.
Hey, I saw it there, okay? There's a clock.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes, Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now?
Yes! Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction.
Indeed.
The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying! You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there!
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard.
Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sahwit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. Well, what's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face.
Yeah! Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never! Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw some, Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and he should burn. Burn, give him death. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright.
Your Honor?
You claim the sound from the witness heard it came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is writing on this. I better think this through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sahwit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker, after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sahwit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sahwit, try to talk your way out of this one.
Ha ha! You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, what's he talking about?
Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sahwit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers, you're all slime.
Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Not so fast, Mr. Sahwit.
Chief!
Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think.
But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
Yes. Wait. Maybe I can prove it.
You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. there, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sahwit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Yeah. Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out different than we expected. Mr. Payne, your client?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts,